Yo, welcome back to another video, and we talking about ball again. I want to get you guys a video. I couldn't think too much. I do have some gaming videos on the way. I just need to find out what I want to record for y'all. I have recently gotten WWE 2K24, so I might do that. But still debating about that. But that's not what this is about. No. Today, you're at the title. I'm going to give you my top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. Top 10, So, first off, let's start off some honorable mentions who did not make the top 10. And it's going to get a lot of people mad. A lot of people. We have Kevin Durant. We have Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. No. Hear me out. Kevin Durant bounces. I bounce him around sometimes, but after putting my list together, I decided KD is not top 10. But Bill Russell and Wilt, it's either you have them really high or you don't respect it. I'm giving them an honorable mention because they're right outside my top 10. Because I understand the accolades Bill Russell has, the records that Wilt has, but that era of basketball was just so weak that I can't put it any higher based off those, Wilt couldn't win too much because of Bill Russell, and Wilt was putting up the stats. So, and there were so much stats that just weren't kept track. They didn't keep track between offensive and defensive rebounds. It was just regular rebounds. There was no steals and blocks, turnovers, stuff like that just wasn't marked. They only showed the good. And there's just so much of Wilt that we don't know because of not recorded stuff. And there's other recordings of other stuff happening. There's just too much what-if questions. They're not my top 10. Let's move on to my top 10, starting off with 10, of course. Boom! Number 10 is Wardell Stephen Curry, the babyface assassin. Yes, my Curry's in my top 10, and those three aren't. And a lot of people would agree with me, I would believe. Curry is the greatest three-point shooter of all time with the most threes. He has two MVPs, one being the first unanimous MVP. He has a Finals MVP, 4 rings. Should probably have the Finals MVPs for those. He should have two, at least 2. I understand, but Curry is just he just stats. It's not like he's a great shooting percentage. For how much threes he has, is just you have to put Curry top 10. Influential too, even though that shouldn't really too much matter. That shouldn't matter too much. You have to put Curry in your top 10, and he hits right my 10. Ooh, this next one is gonna make a lot of people mad and maybe make a good amount of people click off. Number 9, and you already see him. Kobe Bean Bryant is number 9 on my all-time list. Now, let me speak. Before you click off, let me explain myself. Yes, Kobe is a great player and all that. A lot of people have him top 3, so people have him as a GOAT. But no. In his three-peat with Shaq was the best player on his team. Kobe has the most missed shots all time. But he still has everything else. Yes, he's still one, of course. Defensive two-way player, He's an MVP. Some of the most all-stars all time. Some of the most offensive teams all time. Maybe the most offensive teams all time. I don't know. I forgot. I think it's him. I think he's up there for the guards, at least. I'm not looking at stats for this video. This is a quick video for y'all. Kobe is not top 5, top 3, nothing. He is number 9 on my list. Fight me for it. You don't want me to bring stats into this. Because at the end of the day, Kobe is number 9. And you know what? Number 8 was his teammate, Shaquille O'Neal. Another controversial one. Shaq was the most dominant player of all time. However, he was lazy. He didn't try hard enough. Multiple people have said it, and he has said it himself. If he tried like Kobe had, or even just a fraction of what Kobe did, he would have been the greatest player of all time, probably. That's why him and Kobe butt heads so much. That's why they had a problem. Because of 2 different work ethics. But still, Shaq had an MVP. Like I said, he's already the most dominant player of all time. 4 rings. All of that. Was battling a prime MJ. All of that. The points, crazy. Rebounds, crazy. Blocks, crazy. Shaquille O'Neal's number 8 all time on my list. Number 7. Based off the names I've said already, you could probably assume he has to be coming up. I'm either overhyping him later down the list. No, he's right here, right now, and a lot of people are going to disagree, but it's my opinion, and my opinion's kind of the truth here. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is number 7 on my list. Hear me out. Some people have Shaq as number 1, number 2 centers all time, maybe number 3 because they put the Wilts and the Russells in there. I have Shaq number 3 to Hakeem's number 2, kind of giving away my down the list, but that's kind of obvious what the other center is down the list. Hakeem Olajuwon, in my opinion, is the greatest defensive player of all time. Very versatile on defense and has the most blocks on all time by a good margin too. Multiple time defensive player of the year, MVP, ring. 2 rings, I'm pretty sure. If I'm not mistaken, he won the 2 rings while Jordan was gone. Greatest footwork all time. Debatable, but still, I believe he has the greatest footwork all time. Up there for greatest post work of all time is like him and Dirk. Those are the kind of 2 names you think of for post work. And B kind of getting put in that conversation too now. But who did LeBron go to after losing his first year in the finals with the Heat? He went to Hakeem Olajuwon to learn his post game and post defense because he struggled against a good big man. And LeBron took roids. Yes, I'm saying LeBron took roids, but it's not. This part's not about LeBron. Hakeem Olajuwon. Every time him and Shaq match up, Hakeem 8. Hakeem 8. Like, do I have to say much more? I'm not going to. Moving on to number 6. I shouldn't have even done that. But still, let's keep the flow moving, whatever. Number 6 I have on my list is very interchangeable with my number 5. But first, let me say it. Number 6 is Tim Duncan. Now, I go back and forth from moving 6 and 5 all the time. All the time. You're going to see who my 5 is soon. But number 6 is Tim Duncan. 5 rings. Up there for points. Up there for rebounds. Amazing defensive player. Probably one of, if not the best defensive player to never win a defensive player of the year. Tim Duncan was never going to do anything flashy, but he was going to whoop you. He was going to destroy you. And he has the best win percentage of all time for a single NBA player, helping lead the Spurs to the best win percentage as a team all time. Bringing that team the 5 rings they have, which is very high in the all-time rings list for teams. It's the Lakers and the Celtics being all the way up top of 17, and then it's the Bulls, Spurs, Warriors with the respective 6, 5, 4. Tim Duncan is number 6, and who I interchange him a lot is with number 5 is Larry Legend. Larry Bird is number 5 for me, making him the greatest Celtic of all time with Russell out of my top 10. Larry Bird was a great shooter for his era. The stats the stats show it sometimes, the stats don't show it at all another time, but still, it was him and Magic battling back and forth. A lot of times, right now how I'm feeling, he's number 5, but usually I put him number 6 and put Tim Duncan at number 5. That's my usual, I'll be honest. But right now, I was feeling Larry Bird. I was feeling Larry Bird right now. Larry Bird had a short career because of his back problems, but Larry Bird will light up your teams. And something that's very underrated about his game was his passing game. Before Giannis and Dame's record, it was Nate Archibald and Larry Bird getting the passing, at least 30 points and 10 assists for a duo each. Larry Bird is in top 10 for triple doubles. Larry Bird was an all-around player, and you didn't have much of those back then. That was the era of specialists. Magic and Larry Bird helped revive the NBA from going completely bankrupt. They brought the game back for other players like the Shaqs, the MJs, the Hakeems to come in and just bring the league to its best. And for those guys to bring it to the Kobe's, LeBrons, and just to where we're at now. Bird is number 5, and moving right away, number 4, I keep bringing up, is Magic Johnson. Irvin Magic Johnson is number 4 on my list. Finals MVP as a rookie, and he played some center when Kareem got hurt for that series. Multiple time MVP, multiple time champion, top 5 in triple doubles all time, 6'9", 6'10" point guard. That doesn't change your rankings. But it was easy for him to bully, and he was a pass first guy. You know, his averages are crazy. Still averaging a good amount of points, but his assist averages through the roof. Rebounds for a guard through the roof. Defense, now his defense is overrated all the time. He still is a great defender because of his size alone. Magic is number 4. Move on to my top 3. Earlier, when I was arguing about my Shaqs and Hakeems, I basically made it known that I had a number 1 center past them. Here it is, number 3 on my list, the best center of all time. The player with the greatest resume in all of basketball, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And now I say that because I'm counting outside of the NBA too. Before, when he was in high school and college, he won a national championship in college and never lost a single basketball game in his high school career. Never. Then he moved on to the NBA to win the most MVPs with 6 of those. He also had 6 rings, having the most points all time until LeBron recently passed him. He's up there in rebounds all time. All of these stats Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was doing, and it wasn't like he was playing with Wilt most of his career, against a short little 6-foot guy every single game besides he matched up with Bill Russell. No, Kareem came into the league when they started bringing stats out, like the steals, blocks, and all that. So he had to deal with a Wilt at the end of his career, which was still amazing. Had to deal with Hakeem later down the line. Had to deal with David Robinson late. Now I don't think he met up with David Robinson. I think that's wrong. But he had other players. He had Ralph Sampson for a little bit, that short bit of career. Bill Walton for a tad. He had a lot of centers back then with their peaks were very short peaks. But Kareem had it his whole time. The most all-stars for a center all time. And it would be the most all-stars until LeBron passed him this season again. LeBron has passed Kareem for all these stats, but he won't catch up for him for rings and for MVPs. I don't think anybody will catch Kareem in his MVPs besides Jokic. Jokic is going for his 3rd this season, and he has a lot of juice left in him. I can see it. I can see it happening with other players catching up, like Luka and Shays and all of them in the league. I don't think anybody is ever touching Kareem's MVP count. And he has the same amount of rings as MJ. But moving on to number 2, I have LeBron James. LeBron James is my number 2. And I know. Here comes, everybody. Oh, LeBron. Oh, most points all time. Oh, he has a season tournament. Shut up about that season tournament. Season tournament should never be in anybody's resume until 40 years down the line they're still doing it. It was our first year doing it. You can't take that away from other players. Stop it. LeBron is my number 2. I'm going to give him respect and flowers for being number 2. He has the most points all time. He's up there for assists all time. He is, and I'm tired of people saying he's a pass first player. You don't get that much points being a pass first player, so stop. He has multiple MVPs, 2 of them to be exact, 4 rings, all being Finals MVP. He was the first player to have a Finals MVP on 3 different teams. Could have been Kawhi, but she sold with the Clippers. LeBron has all these stats, amazing stats, triple doubles, all of that. And I don't gotta say much for LeBron. I don't have to say much for LeBron. Whether I say he's number 1 or number 2, but he's not my number 1, because my number 1 is the most obvious for me. Clearly, it's coming up, right? Clearly, it's coming up. Number 1 is Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. Okay. Let me stop. Number 1 is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the GOAT, the Black Cat, Black Jesus, whatever you call him. 6 rings. 6-0 in the finals. Multiple time MVP. Highest points per game average for a whole career. Never lost a game 7. Ever. Most points in a playoff game was 63. Do I have to keep going down this list? Everyone knows why MJ's number 1 and number 2. I just have him number 1. Defensive Player of the Year. One of the only guards to win it, besides counting this guy and Gary Payton. Come on. MJ, you're airness. Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time. And I don't care about this, this new stuff that's coming out. We're done with the 90s. He didn't have a left hand. If he didn't have a left hand, why couldn't you stop him from dropping 30 constantly on your head top every game, no matter who was guarding him? I got my mic in my face. If he couldn't use the left hand, we can't take it off his resume because he didn't use his left hand. He still had 6 MVPs, 6 rings. He was still dropping buckets on y'all. If it was so easy to guard it, why couldn't you? Because the right hand was that unstoppable. Clearly he was that unstoppable that he had a whole hand that was a problem to play with, and he still was beating you. MJ, Michael Jordan, is the greatest player of all time. And unless LeBron does some crazy stuff in his career, which he probably won't, because we're all seeing the decline. A lot of people won't admit it because it's LeBron James, but we're seeing the decline happen. There's a reason why Anthony Davis is top 10 in MVP rankings right now, and LeBron is not. LeBron is not going to get the accolades in time to pass MJ all time. I don't care if he has the most points all time. He has way more years played of him. Look at the finals compared. 6-0 in the finals and 4-10. Stop. Look, Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. There is the end of the story. He will always be the greatest player of all time. Until, unless Wemby keeps going. I had to stop myself there. Wemby, Luka, Jokic, they're creeping up on those all-time lists. But no one's touching MJ! We are not done with the 90s! Thank you for watching this video. If you watch this all the way through, like, comment, subscribe, help support the channel. More videos like this come in. I think I'm going to drop more gaming videos, like I said. I think I'm going to drop more ranking videos. Maybe if you want my top 5 positions and stuff, I will drop those too. But the effort, the work, the grind, everything's going through, TikTok, band appeal, whatever. Follow the TikTok, follow the Twitch. Catch me on those every now and then. Peace out.